Hello to everyone in TV land. This is Focus on Liberia online television, and you are listening to the Focus on Liberia Daily News with Gwendolyn Dorado. I bring you the headlines. Controversy erupts over appointment of Councillor Masukwe as Executive Director of War and Economic Crimes Court. CDA certificates to cooperative societies in Lofa County. And Liberia Maritime Authority commences a two-day consultative engagement workshop with stakeholders in Monrovia today. Those were the headlines, now the news in details. The appointment of Councillor Jonathan Masukwe as Executive Director of the Office for the Establishment of the War and Economic Crimes Court has sparked controversy due to his prior legal representations of war crimes inductees. Also, he is accused of filing lawsuits against human rights defenders and institutions advocating for justice and the court's establishment. Created through Executive Order 131 on May 2, 2024, the Office for the Establishment of the War and Economic Crimes Court is tasked with creating the eventual court in harmony with international models that have been used for similar trials of war crimes. The office will also liaise with international partners to source funding for the court. Over the weekend, the Coalition for the Establishment of the WECC in Liberia and the Human Rights Community of Liberia issued a press statement expressing their deep concern over Councillor Masukwe's appointment. According to the WECC advocates and human rights defenders, Councillor Masukwe's past legal representation of individuals accused of war crimes, including Madam Agnes Reeves Taylor and Sierra Leonean National Gabriel Masukwe, raises serious ethical and moral questions about his ability to lead a court tasked with bringing justice to victims and survivors of Liberia's civil wars. Madam Reeves Taylor, wife of former Liberian President Charles Taylor, faced charges in the UK for alleged war crimes committed during the Liberia civil conflicts. Councillor Masukwe served as her legal counsel during these proceedings. Additionally, he represented Gabriel Masukwe, accused of atrocities in Liberia, in a Finnish court. The coalition and human rights groups argued that his role in defending these individuals contradicts the interest of justice and the pursuit of accountability for wartime atrocities. In response to the criticisms, the Office of the War and Economic Crimes Court of Liberia defended Councillor Masukwe's appointment, citing constitutional protections regarding the right to legal counsel and the non-interference in lawyer-client relationships. They argued that Councillor Masukwe's past representations do not disqualify him from serving in a public capacity, highlighting international precedents where defense attorneys have transitioned into high-profile legal roles without controversy. Two cooperative societies in Lofa County have been certificated after completing all the requirements to enable them function as bona fide cooperative societies. The Kami Farming Cooperative Society and the United Farmers Multipurpose Cooperative Society were certificated at a brief ceremony held at the Winla Credit Union Cooperative Society in Vojama City, Lofa County, and two 9-membered board of directors from each of the cooperative societies were also inducted into office to serve for 2 years. Performing the certification and induction ceremonies, the Registrar General of the Cooperative Development Agency, Lopu Kandakai, called on the members of the societies to embrace the arrest agenda of the Boakai's administration, citing the first letter A, which stands for agriculture. She encouraged the cooperative societies to grow enough food for local consumption while the surpluses could be exported for foreign exchange earnings. Madam Kanakai emphasized the need for farmers to grow what Liberians eat and eat what they grow in order to be food secured. This, she noted, will give the country peace and satisfaction, and eventually unity will prevail. Madam Kandakai thanked the Ministry of Agriculture and other donor partners, including the United Nations Development Programme and the International Fund for Agricultural Development, for their support towards the cooperative development in Liberia. The Liberia Maritime Authority begins a two-day National Stakeholders Consultative Engagement Workshop today, June 24th to the 25th, following a one-day meeting with stakeholders. The workshop, organized in collaboration with the University College London, aims to strengthen Liberia's negotiation capacity ahead of the International Maritime Organization, the IMO, meeting on reducing greenhouse gas emissions from ships. Speaking over the weekend in Monrovia, Liberia's representative to the IMO, Robert Kwade, said the partnership with the UCL through the leading effective Afrocentric Participation Project underscores a commitment to enhancing Liberia's active participation in the IMO negotiations. He noted that the project will provide crucial support in formulating strategies and adopting midterm measures to achieve the IMO's vision of a net zero emission shipping sectors by 2050. He says this collaboration reflects a proactive approach to the environmental stewardship and international maritime policy. However, Mr. Kwade emphasized the critical role of the maritime industry in global emissions and highlighted Liberia's significant position as a flag state and its vested interest in promoting sustainable maritime practices. That does it for the Focus on Liberia Daily News. I do a recap of the headlines. Controversy erupts over appointment of Councillor Masukwe as Executive Director of War and Economic Crimes Court. CDA certificates to cooperative societies in Lofa County, and Liberia Maritime Authority commences a two-day consultative engagement workshop with stakeholders in Monrovia today. On behalf of the management and staff of Focus on Liberia, many thanks to our listeners and viewers. We urge that you keep following us and share our videos. My name is Gwendolyn Dorado. I present it.